Poisonrana.
Okay, we're live now.
We were live originally, just like our computers were lying to us.
All right, we'll lie to everyone else right now.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Poisonrana. You found us on whatever podcast app you're listening to us, and sometimes live.
On youtube.com/@PoisonRanaPod.
Yeah, it's it says people in the chat are saying we were live, and we were thinking we were not, and then we were just chilling awkwardly quiet, like, why aren't we alive? And everyone's just like probably looking at their screens like, what's going on here?
It's because it's Wednesday. We're all out of whack.
This
today.
isn't our day to go live at this time, but it's WrestleMania season, so we thought we'd do a little bonus show to give a little preview of the whole weekend of wrestling coming up this weekend. Like I said, it's going to be a lot.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a really busy week. These WrestleManias now feel like big festivals. You know, there's so much to see, not just the WWE shows, but you've got, you know, Ring of Honor, you've got all the indie shows going on. So it's always an exciting time of year as a wrestling fan.
Yeah, so we're going to dive into some previewing of WrestleMania, some predictions for the weekend, some matches that we're definitely going to be checking out outside of the WWE umbrella, some Ring of Honor as well, and maybe some chat about some Punk, Mox, the saga of Punk.
Yes, the ongoing saga of Punk.
Saga of Dirty Punk continuing, and some Vikingo and Kenny talk as well. WrestleMania is this weekend. We are doing a watch party downtown Toronto at Gabby's King West. 2 nights of partying with the BDE. Come find out if it's true. Do we live the gimmick? We'll have wrestling themed drinks. We'll maybe discuss the menu at the end of the show as well that you've come up with. We've got some wrestling music banging for the pre-show, post-show. We've got giveaways, replica titles to give away, plaques, like
tickets to wrestling shows.
Show, like just crazy stuff going on this weekend in Toronto, and we can't wait to see some of our friends this weekend because it's WrestleMania and it's feel good. Play all the Flow Rida, Green Light. What were you playing earlier?
WrestleMania 31. David Guetta. Rise.
Dun, dun,
yeah,
I
like that one. It's catchy.
Yeah, I love Written in the Stars.
Yeah,
that was a good one. I'm trying to think of some. Obviously, Limp Bizkit.
I'm coming home.
That one's great.
Diddy. Yeah.
WrestleMania had some Peter Gabriel. Just randomly, they were like, "Yeah, let's use Big Time." It's like, all right. Cool.
Oh yeah. We've had Kid Rock a couple of times.
Yeah, a few too many times. The Weekend needs to chill now. The Weekend.
They're not I like the Weekend. They're not WrestleMania songs.
We love the Weekend. We're Toronto, Scarborough King, but like, come on, it just doesn't fit wrestling. Blinding Lights, I get it would have fit for this one because it's California, right? Like the video package, but. Yeah,
but it's like, I'll see you in Hell in a Cell.
I want to fuck you with the lights on. It's like, wait. I don't understand why Abel has to sing about this kind of stuff while
very odd wrestling.
But yeah, we love the Weekend, but maybe we can move on from that kind of music. We need something a bit more aggressive. NXT is using like Turnstile and like more rock stuff, so maybe like there's a good chance, but.
John Siino's a fan of What a Man by Salt and Pepper. Well,
What a Man.
Of course he is.
Yeah. We discussed it on WrestleMania 11, our review last week, and that was it was the WrestleMania 11 remix from Salt and Pepper that they did live that Siino was there for. Which is a great WrestleMania performance of one of the best of all time. Are we getting any live things this year? Is Alter Bridge playing Edge out?
I say this I hope that every year.
Yeah.
But if this is Edge's potential last Mania, come on, it needs to happen.
Yeah, why wouldn't it happen?
That would be awesome.
There's talks of Gangrel
with Edge
and Christian. Like, that'd be pretty cool.
Well, as the Brood coming up, like Edge has done the Brood entrance a few times, but with the other two, that would be pretty cool. Who else could? I've always wanted to have some sort of like orchestra play.
Yeah,
I think like, can you imagine like Gunther? Like if they give him his old theme, come out with an actual orchestra, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Cody, I mean, we've seen Downstate Live in AEW.
Cody's gonna have the long prelude, I think, to his entrance. You know, the whole dramatic thing. Maybe we get the Cody Vader back.
We're definitely getting the Cody Vader. There's going to be so much. It's going to look like a bomb went off in California when his entrance hits.
Who else could have a good one? Rhea Ripley's being played out.
Okay, cool.
She's confirmed.
Her
that,
theme
I
is
think.
pretty badass. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah, we'll have to discuss the best entrances because I'm hoping that we get downstate. They released that like acoustic version of Kingdom. I'm wondering if we get that and then it kicks into like the theme because they don't.
I mean, they proved they can't really sing it live.
I feel like give them another chance. Let the give the people what they want. There's so many WWE people who never knew that happened.
Mime, just dub it. You know.
Yeah, true.
That's what they do at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That would be pretty good.
No, but I'm excited, and we've kind of already kicked off our WrestleMania week because we were at the Awesome Toy Show on Sunday.
Yeah, the reason we didn't go live on Sunday, this is when we usually do this show. Well, we won't be going live this Sunday either because WrestleMania is Sunday night. So we will be going live Monday at some point for this show again on our YouTube. So definitely come hang out. Time to be determined. But yeah, last Sunday we were at the Awesome Toy Show just outside of Toronto in Mississauga. And we were invited from Sunday night's main event. Shout out all those guys, Randy and the boys there. Their Sunday night's main event's kind of run by some different people for those who may or may not know. So they reached out and were like, "Hey, we're gonna be doing these conventions. We'd love to have other stuff." And they invited us in, and we had a fun time. It snowballed into us having a little bit of a tournament for 2K23. Yeah, there was controversy. There was dramas.
Yeah,
Hearts were broken.
We had this kid, Steven, who was very, very good at 2K.
Shout out Steven.
But you know, fuck them kids, bro.
You're stealing my line.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Shall we go back?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was this kid, Steven, who entered the tournament, but there was no age restriction to this thing. So we had a bunch of kids. Steven was very good.
To be fair, like it was only kids, and then like a few dads who didn't really know how to play, and then some people would be like, "Wait, hold on a second. There's a $200 prize. Like, can I enter? I don't even know how to play this since No Mercy." We kept hearing that. I haven't played since No Mercy, and then they'd try and they wouldn't be very good. But some of the kids playing would probably beat us.
Yeah, a lot of the parents were saying, "Oh yeah, they just got this game last week. They haven't stopped playing it."
A few of the kids were like, we were coming to the show, and then we saw advertised that now there was this tournament, so we've been training. These kids were preparing for our 2K tournament. And then, Steven was cleaning house. He was Randy Orton in the tournament.
Yeah.
Not the best character to pick.
So I found it really interesting to see who these kids would pick, because it's kind of an indication of who's popular with this demographic. So a lot of them wanted to be Seth Rollins. We had a few wanting to be Randy.
Cena,
Logan Paul was quite popular. But my favorite was... a lot of them wanted to play as Ricochet, and this one girl who clearly knows her wrestling was like, I'm going to be Ricochet, and someone who didn't really know goes, "Is he good?" And she goes, "No, not really, but I know his moves, and they're pretty good."
This girl was cleaning house too.
Yeah, she was good.
Really what happened, so we had a bunch of kids playing, and then we let anyone kind of join in, and there was a guy probably in his early 20s. He was like hesitant to play at first, and we're like, "Look, dude, like, you could use $200. Like, you win if you win." And he's like, "I do play this game. Like, I love wrestling. I love this." I'm like, "Enter the tournament. Just do it."
How do you think we'd have got on? I think we'd have done all right. I think we're both pretty good.
I would have sent those kids fucking packing, bro. What are you thinking? Come on.
No, I'd have been curious because I didn't play any of them. I'd have been curious how they've done. But the game's pretty good. Like, we haven't had a good chance to play it yet.
It was so fun. Like, again, like a bunch of kids playing the game, and some of them again were really good. And watching them do that, like, it was pretty fun. But yeah, this guy Singh decided to be Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
He comes in and starts beating all these kids.
After all the Roman controversy where we're like, are we going to let someone be Roman? Roman was eliminated first.
Yeah.
So then we're like, yeah, anyone can be anyone. Sure, you can be Brock.
So it came down to our boy Steven and Singh.
It was a SummerSlam rematch.
It was a good match. It was a 5-star classic.
It was Randy versus Brock.
Yeah. It was pretty good. Though, however, another thing that we were able to give out to some of our contenders and players was lots of raffles for the big raffles during the day. So when our winner won $200, we gave him a bunch of raffles as well, and he won like a plaque for 2K23 that was given from Awesome Toy Show, and money, like we said. But then me and you took a lot of the extra raffles and just gave it to these kids.
Yeah.
Throughout the day, we were like, "Hey, you were playing good. Here's these raffles." And then at the end, we wanted to leave, but we're like, no, we need to see
We
who
got to
wins.
see who wins.
And didn't our kids win a bunch of shit?
Yeah,
we
so,
helped them win.
So the top prize was a trip to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But then there was like a laptop computer.
A
This
drone.
kid won.
I think the girl won a drone.
Really?
I think the little kid Steven won.
He won a laptop.
He won like a laptop or something.
Yeah,
so
crazy.
I felt like our karma was set for. See, we're nice people.
The funniest though was the trip to WrestleMania. Now this is a trip to Los Angeles, being like you're leaving in 5 days. You're going to WrestleMania, and the winners were this couple. I'd say they're about our age, early 30s.
Yeah.
So their win, they're jumping around celebrating. Their kids are jumping around celebrating, and then they're like, "Oh no, sweetie, you're staying with grandma." And then you saw them like go up on stage,
So
their prize, big
angry.
smile, and the kids are like, "What the
So
fuck?"
furious.
But then, like, let's be realistic here. It's
Yeah.
like, if you were sprung on, okay, you gotta pay for a trip to LA for your 2 kids, you're leaving in 5 days. No, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Enjoy the break.
Yeah.
And, yeah, you can go when you're older.
Yeah, it was a fun time at
Yeah.
the Awesome Toy Show. We'll definitely be back when it comes. Shout out Wing for putting that all together and inviting us there. And there was a lot of wrestling stuff though, like wrestling. Our boy Tom, we brought our boy Big Tom. I think he's in the chat right now. He sells a lot of wrestling merchandise and memorabilia, so we let him kind of join it. We knew it was kind of his bag and stuff, and he ended up having a great day. Everybody wanted to buy some of his stuff, replica titles and stuff, and masks.
There is definitely something about, and I think that's why things like this do well. You can probably get a bunch of this stuff on the internet. I'm not just talking like the replica
like
titles,
toys.
but the figures and everything. But there's something of seeing it in front of you,
Yeah.
and being like, "Oh, I could get this now."
I could
You're
walk
seeing
out
it.
with this.
You're seeing the quality of it physically right in front. I mean, that's why I bought the Ryback figure.
Yeah, what was your haul from a toy show convention?
I got a Ryback figure, and I got Jacob from Lost as a Funko Pop.
I got the whole Scooby Gang for like $5.
Yeah.
I gave to my girlfriend, and then I got a Captain Hook for free. I
Nice.
love my cartoon Captain Hook. And then I got only because I was just talking about this the other day, of one of my favorite toys as a kid was this Wolverine when he's Weapon X, when he's like pretty much half naked with the tubes on him, the mask helmet thing with his claws. I had this figure and someone was just selling it like, loose, but for $5. I was like, yeah, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah, the Jacob one, when I bought it, the guy at the stall was like, "Yes, because that's a steal. That's $5 for that. I'm glad someone." He was
Right.
like, "I was gonna take it myself." So I'm like, "Yeah." So I've
Nice.
got 2 Lost Funko Pops now.
Yeah, we were hanging out. We had the system playing games, and Tom was selling stuff. I had my pins that we're gonna have some more this weekend as well. So
Yep,
it was
they
just-
were doing well.
Yeah, so it's come check out the Poison pins available this weekend. Exclusive merchandise at the end giveaways at the event. But yeah, this was a fun time.
It was fun.
Yeah, I hope there's a wrestling one like around Forbidden Door. I feel like there's enough people
Yeah.
that could like create
Absolutely,
a whole
yeah.
kind of festival and Starcast or something, maybe
sure.
even. But yeah, so yeah,
Shall we get in some WrestleMania talk?
yes, we shall.
All right, so WrestleMania 39 is happening this weekend, split over 2 nights again, Saturday and Sunday, and the card is, I think, full now, complete.
Do we know which matches are on which day?
So they've announced some. I found it really
'Cause-
interesting.
Wikipedia, Davey. I don't
Yeah.
know if you know this website. It tells the truth always, and it's always right. And it says now there's like different nights with different things where it
So-
wasn't before.
They've announced they announced a lot of it on Raw this week. So we know John Cena versus Austin Theory is opening the whole thing. I imagine the first thing's going to be, John Cena's entrance, most likely. They've been advising, like, don't miss it. Like, LA traffic sucks. Get there early.
Leave, stand, and deliver early.
Yes. Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul's confirmed for night 1. Trish, Lita, and Becky versus Damage Control confirmed for night 1. Brock versus Omos night 1. And that's interesting. On Wiki, it's listing both the Raw and the SmackDown Women's Championship for night 1. I would be surprised if that happens, to be honest. But they've announced only for night 2 so far, Roman versus Cody Rhodes, which will be the main event. I find it interesting that they haven't announced the main event for night 1 yet. And I figure that's maybe an indicator that they're still going back and forth on, is it going to be the tag match or is it going to be Charlotte Rhea.
Yeah. And I think fans are all like, it should not be Charlotte and Rhea.
No.
At this point, with this build, with this whole story, Rhea is one of the hottest characters, but the feud is pretty cold. And
I think the match would be good.
Yeah.
And I think if you did end night one with it, I think the crowd would be respectful of it as well. Because as you said, they do really like Rhea. But the tag match that's the big story that's been going on for months and months and months. They're advertising it as the biggest tag team championship match of all time.
yeah, it feels big. So why not make it feel even bigger?
I think it's a real statement. Like I almost feel if Charlotte and Rhea main event, it's tokenism in a way. It's just to do it for the sake of having a women's match as the main event. I think the most built match should main event, really. So I would put the tag there.
Yeah, no, I would go with the tag as well. It's the hottest story. Just the visual of Sami and Kevin celebrating at the end of a WrestleMania. Done.
Would be wonderful. Yeah.
Like, that's all we need to see. So.
And then it's also a cliffhanger for the next night because the Usos, like the first crack of the bloodline has formed, and you kind of have that cliffhanger of, how's Roman going to react? How is this going to affect him tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's the right call. Other than those two, is there anything else? I don't think so.
Well, so,
the Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell, yeah. I don't think that would main event though. Well, let's go through night one and give our kind of predictions here. So we did say we're starting with John Cena and Austin Theory for the US title.
Yeah, I see John Cena beating Austin Theory.
Really?
Yeah. I know we've watched Austin Theory and evolve in NXT and come a long way, but the talking to the empty crowd promo just didn't hit for me. I think the way as many people think this guy they say he's the next, he's the future. I definitely think he can still be a key player, but just not really feeling this one, to be honest. And as John Cena goes, like, yeah, I love Cena, but the last time he didn't do too much in the match. So is this just going to be him in an AA, or is this an actual match?
I think Austin Theory has to win this. Okay. Really. Cena, as you said, like in that tag match, didn't do a whole lot. Definitely slowed down in the last few matches we've seen him in. This is also for a championship. So if Cena wins this title, that means he's got to do
open challenges,
more dates. Considering he only did one Raw for this build, I can't see him having many more dates after this. Unless maybe they want a rematch in Puerto Rico and have him as a big name to draw there, perhaps. But yeah, I think they're investing a lot in Austin Theory, and they should pull the trigger with him. Like if they're gonna go with him, they should just keep on going until it kind of clicks, I think. And yeah, we've seen so many times where someone's been hot and going up against a Cena and then losing and it ending it. Cena's past that point in his career now, so I think it should be Theory.
I totally understand, and I could totally see it going that way. I haven't necessarily clicked in with him.
A lot of people feel that way. Yeah.
So I feel
but
like
it's whether maybe if you give him the win and how he handles like a mad crowd at Raw after Mania or stuff like that, maybe things will start falling into place.
Maybe if he hits Ataxium or whatever. Ataxia?
Yeah, he doesn't do that anymore. Yeah, I don't like the A-Town down.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's not good.
It's terrible. The whole A-Town thing. I'm not an Austin Theory fan. I really tried back in the day. I was kind of, the way he was funny and terrible and loved him a little bit, but not feeling it.
Seth freaking Rollins versus Logan Paul.
Yeah, sponsored by Prime, probably, somehow, some way. He's going to come out with the Prime again.
Yeah.
Which everyone was drinking at the Austin Toy Show.
Yeah. Oh, poor Trey Miguel.
Someone thought he was selling.
So this lady goes up to Trey Miguel, Impact X Division champion, and says, "Oh, are you selling these?" And he goes, photographs are free, but if you want like an autograph or some of my merch, yeah, I'm selling them." And she goes, "Oh no, I'm talking about the Prime," because he's drinking about the Prime. He's like, "Oh no, this is mine. I just bought it." She thought he was the Prime vendor at this toy show
with one bottle there.
With one bottle.
That was a really weird flex from this lady. So, but sorry, back to WrestleMania here.
Rollins Paul. Yeah. I think this is going to be a fantastic match.
Me too.
Logan Paul's really impressed so far. Rollins is one of, if not the best wrestler they have on the main roster. A lot of people kind of seem to think Logan and Cody for the Saudi show. And if you're going that route, you kind of have to have him beat Rollins here.
Yeah, I kind of see that. It sucks because Rollins is like supposed to be the be all end all worker here in WWE, and he lost last year to returning Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
The spectacle of Logan Paul's not a real main roster guy, so he's like the special, and here he is probably losing to him here again. I kind of think it should be what Logan Paul's been doing this so far, is like keeps getting so close, and then Seth does put him away.
Yeah, Paul has had the advantage of Rollins every week, and I have liked the punch they've been using, kind of putting over that it's titanium in, like, because it was surgically repaired,
right?
So he's basically got titanium in his fist, and the punches have looked great when he's like knocked out Rollins. So
Weapon X Logan Paul.
I think this is going to be really good.
I think it'll be pretty good. I think Logan Paul, and since working here, has picked up this really quickly, and like he's getting all the extra little spices from everyone else, so he's learning real fast, and I think this could be pretty entertaining.
Trish Lita and Becky Lynch versus Damage Control.
You know what? I'm kind of hyped for this. Io Shirai and Trish Stratus are gonna have a face-to-face standoff in this match, and that's really what's selling it for me. Two of like the best, I think, just women's wrestlers. And not only that, Lita's in this match, Becky's in this match, Bayley's, Dakota. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm kind of not excited about it, but then I look at it on paper and I go, oh, actually, this should be pretty fun.
This should be exactly what it should not go too long. It should have little sequences with all three different like dream matchup scenarios there.
Yeah.
They gave away Becky and Io for free on Raw. It was really good, but like that is a future main event some down the line. But Becky going off on Io on Raw was great for this story.
Yeah.
Her just kind of really saying what kind of
you're great. Like,
you're
what have
great.
You been doing?
Yeah. What have you've been wasting away being lackeys for Bayley? But this match, I think Damage Control should win and get the definitive win back from the Legends here.
So the fact Lita and Becky are champions means they've got to defend it. Like, Lita's going to have another match after this, whether it's the Puerto Rico show, them against Kai and Sky again, or, I mean, we've got this four-way women's match. Maybe the winner of that goes on, because this kind of should be the end of the feud at this point. But some people are saying maybe Trish turns and joins Damage Control.
What?
Well, remember, we didn't see her get attacked. She was just like, oh, they beat me up. So maybe some people
classic Trish turning at WrestleMania.
On Lita as well. Like,
wow.
So
and
that
one more time?
could be something.
One more time. SummerSlam.
And then you could do Bayley and Trish versus Lita and Becky for the tag titles, maybe.
I've not heard that discourse, and that does sound interesting. Again, I love Lita and Trish. Definitely grow up like loving these two, and to now see them like tie in with Io Shirai, Io Sky being my like all-time favorite. This has my attention without a good story, but I think this last Raw, they did a good job.
So the coffee shop I go to, this guy who works there was like, oh my god, like Trish and Lita were my favorites as a kid, and I was like, oh, they're wrestling this weekend. He was like, what? They're having a match? I'm like, yeah. So I gave him a flyer, and he was like, wow, I kind of want to see that.
Yeah, it's pretty. It'll bring some of the old school, because again, Trish and Lita, but Becky is like the new guard, right? Like Becky is still the best, I think, in WWE when it comes to the women's, and I'm excited for this match.
Brock Lesnar versus Omos.
We're getting the F5, right? That's what it is.
So I'm like, I don't think this is going to be good, but I did like the video package they showed comparing the two, kind of really putting over Omos's size. The visual of seeing Brock Lesnar look like a tiny man next to one is pretty cool. So I'm kind of just down for the spot. Like, if they pull off the F5, I kind of think this will be, it would have over-delivered, and be a bit of a success.
Yeah.
So when they first announced this match, I was like, horrible. Why? Now I'm kind of, all right, yeah, it could be fun. It's not going to be anything long.
You had my attention, now you have my curiosity.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it might be the smoke break match, but I do want to see the F5. But I'm sure they'll replay it 5 million times in the rest of history. But yeah.
Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Oh, yeah, who do you think's winning that?
Brock. As Omos undefeated?
F5. No, Omos has lost. He lost to Lashley, didn't he?
Right.
I did like listening to MVP on Corey Graves' podcast.
Yeah.
He was saying that he basically was telling Omos, like, you need a proper tailor. Like, you need to wear, need to be wearing good suits. And what the fuck is your ring gear? Sort that out. Because he was wearing like jeans and a top, and like now he's got proper gear. And he's kind of saying like, this guy is an athlete. He played basketball. And he just shits on Great Khali in this thing. He's like, I don't want just a lumbering big guy walking around who can't do shit. Like, I want this guy to be good because he's an athlete.
Don't get your hopes up, MVP.
And then goes on about how he's looking forward to this next match, Bianca versus Asuka. He says, I think that's going to be match of the weekend. I'm so hyped for this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, just because the build has been pretty bad, we're kind of forgetting about it. But once the bell rings, I think this could definitely slap.
We've seen it in the part, like the Sasha and Bianca build was terrible. The match was fantastic. This match is going to be great.
I think Asuka breaks the streak.
The build has been terrible. It's been Asuka dribbling.
Yeah, she's gonna spit in her face and steal the title.
Yeah, I'd kind of like to see Bianca break the 1 year mark as champion and have her undefeated in singles at WrestleMania.
Interesting.
She's 3-0. No, she's 2-0, right? Yeah.
But she never wrestled in WrestleMania before.
Only like Battle Royal.
Okay.
In a pre-show, I think. I might be wrong there, but yeah.
This could be great.
I kind of want Bianca to retain, although I think Asuka with her gimmick change, like it's a good opportunity to like put the title on her.
Yeah, I think so. Asuka's just like one of the, again, like the women's roster is stacked here, and if you're someone like me, there's a lot of crap through the year of Raw matches and tag and this and that and like Mickey Mouse bookings and stuff. But when it comes to like the big matches, the past few years, the women's matches specifically have been like really stand out, and Bianca has been a superstar. Asuka, right, like through the pandemic, was the star. I think like helped carry stuff. So to finally see her get her moment, I think Asuka never should have lost to Charlotte at WrestleMania. I think that was the little crack that messed up the like story of her character, because fans love her, but like you just said, MVP and stuff, like wrestlers always say she's the best.
It's funny you saying about her kind of streak ending. They did a really good hype video for this match on Raw. Had nothing to do with
the dribbles.
Oh, I'm being weird. It was just putting over like Bianca's athletic background and how she's just been so dominant as a champion, but saying about Asuka's streak, which hasn't been brought up for years.
Yeah.
Obviously, mainly NXT clips, but it did carry through until that WrestleMania. It was like over 900 days. So putting that over kind of was like, yeah, that's the story you should have been telling here. I'm hoping after Mania we get some sort of shake-up with the rosters, because I think Bianca and Charlotte needs to happen as a big match in the next year.
Yep, for sure. But I'm going Asuka.
I'll go Bianca.
Okay.
Then. And that takes us to Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
I think it needs to be Charlotte. Mommy's taking it home. I mean, sorry.
Rhea.
Said Charlotte and then Mommy at the same. I mean, Rhea. I think it's just absolutely time for her to beat Charlotte. Again, needs her vindication here.
100%. I almost think it would serve the match better to go earlier, because I don't think if it was main eventing, I think it telegraphs that it's definitely Rhea.
Right.
Because I can't see them wanting to end the night with Charlotte just retaining.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that big moment. So I think if you put that earlier in the show, you plant that seed of doubt a bit more. But I definitely see it being Rhea. I think it makes most sense.
Yeah, she's one of the hottest characters.
She's been
right
so
now.
hot. Strike the iron when it's hot, and have a dominant run with the championship.
We're going to see her and Dom celebrating.
Her and Bianca in the next year as well would be great.
Oh, for sure.
And then
yeah, right now we're not exactly sure where other matches lie on different nights, but
we imagine a lot of these will be night 2. So Gunther, Sheamus, Drew. I'm really looking forward to this one.
Big lads wrestling, big meaty men slapping meat. It's gonna be fantastic. The chops, the kicks, the brogues, the everything. Make sure you get your banger bombs all lined up.
Yeah,
which is get some Jaeger for Gunther, right?
Yeah.
Some Scotch for Drew, and some
Guinness.
Yeah.
Drop it in the Guinness.
Yeah, and then try not to fight anyone afterwards. But this is the fighting around the world match.
This is at the watch party, the point where everyone's taking their tops off to get chops from each other. I think Gunther's been awesome as champion. I've loved this Sheamus run with the Brawling Brutes and everything. And I think, kind of taking Drew out of the main event picture doesn't... as a fan, it puts him more in my favor because I think this is where he kind of should be.
Yeah.
And I do think Drew is a good wrestler, but just got a little boring when it was top of the card all the time. So I think this is going to be really good. I'm going to go with Sheamus.
I'm going with Shamey.
Sheamus pinning Drew.
Yeah.
Means Gunther can lose this title, kind of still be not defeated.
Exactly.
And can challenge Cody down the line and be in that main event picture.
I completely agree with that. I need Shamey to get it. Sheamus used to be one of my least favorite wrestlers, and look how far I've just become such a big fan. It was the hat and the jacket. Ever since he just became super chill and Irish and less mean and Irish. He still is, but I love Sheamus now, and this is where he needs his big moment. He's had his WrestleMania moments before, but this is, I think, something that now in this stage of his career, the crowd will be on his side. Speaking of banger bombs for this match, how about we're taking suggestions at Poisonrana Pod for drinking game ideas for WrestleMania. Take a drink, take a shot every time there's a chop in this match.
Jeez. Be dead.
Yeah, I don't think you'd last
absolutely dead
30 seconds in this match, possibly. But I'm excited for this match.
I'm really excited for this one. What is next?
There's Hell in a Cell.
Oh, yeah.
Edge going up against the Demon, Finn Balor.
Yes. I'm excited. This is Hell in a Cell at Mania. I think that's good and will really shake up the card a bit. I kind of feel Edge kind of needs to put an end to this story, because it's been them on him the whole time. So I kind of feel to end the story, it's got to be him winning. But I think Finn long term makes way more sense. Again, if you're having Cody as the champion, Finn is certainly someone you could have as a challenger at a B-level pay-per-view, I think. And because Judgment Day are hot now, I think that would work. And I think Finn kind of reestablishing this demon and getting back that's when he's at his most powerful. I think Finn makes a bit more sense here. And I'd like to see him move up the card.
I'd like Finn to win as well and definitely put an end to this. Let Edge do something else. He could do more stuff with Beth and other people, but I think Finn winning could elevate him into another level because a Finn Cody match, a Finn,
Finn Cody is what I see.
Finn, a lot of things. Finn is really good, and this Judgment Day thing could work for him if he's kind of the leader of them and having the other pieces in play with Rhea and Dom and stuff, potentially him being a viable main guy, which they still haven't successfully hit with him on main roster yet. So I think to be huge big guy, a star that I think he could still potentially be. But yeah, I'm going with Finn as well. But I think this could be pretty good. I hope it doesn't just go very, very long.
I don't think so. I think the longest you're gonna get is around 22.
And we were joking, Gangrel Christian.
That entrance would be cool.
I love the Brood theme. It's one of the best wrestling themes. But Alter Bridge should play him out. But
have it all. Yeah,
all in one entrance. The whole career, the stages of his career.
Rob
throughout.
Zombie's there as well.
Oh, yeah. Red.
We've got the Women's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, Natalya and Shotzi, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville.
Signs point to Ronda and Shayna just because they're the UFC. They need to do something with all the money they spent on Ronda, I guess.
To build to Ronda and Shayna versus Lita and Becky, I guess.
I guess, but I'm kind of liking the team of the Black Hearts or the Shots Hearts. What are they called?
Oh, right, Natalya and Shotzi.
Yeah, the logo they posted was pretty sweet. It's the Hart family logo, but with the helmet and her thing on it. It looked pretty cool.
I like the complaint department.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green
Karen's?
and Sonya. Yeah, I think Chelsea's been so great since she's come back. I found her really entertaining. This is the match on the entire weekend that I have the least interest in.
For sure.
It's a showcase match, and that's exactly what it is.
This and the other one.
The other one I think will surprise though, because when you look, you got Braun and Ricochet, Street Profits, Alpha Academy, and Viking Raiders. There's a lot of very good people in that match, and I think they're going to want to kind of make the most of the minutes they get. I think this could actually be pretty fun, but it's not really for anything, and hasn't really had any decent build, so why do I care? But I think that one could surprise.
Yeah, do love me some Street Profits, do love me some Viking Raiders, and do love me some Chad Gable. So,
who would you go with?
I think Braun and Ricochet, just because they're going hard with that like big and small team,
I'd
the
go
bold men team.
Street Profits.
Okay.
Yeah. The Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles.
Yeah, we hope this main event's night one, but we're recording this way before, so we're thinking Kevin and Sami get the big win, get the big celebratory
WrestleMania, KO Mania,
and then Kevin turns on him.
Yeah. And dumps the tag titles in the trash.
Pisses on it.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's got to be Kevin and Sami,
course,
I think.
yeah.
But I think this match is gonna kill. I really can't wait for this one.
This one definitely has all the attention. The story's been so good. The hug, everything
and
going
the
on.
Usos deserve this moment. Like I think we said a couple of weeks ago, their first WrestleMania main card match was last year.
Wow.
Against Boogs and Nakamura, which doesn't feel that big.
So they need a big match.
They deserve this huge tag team title match.
Absolutely.
100%. Ray versus Dominic Mysterio.
Oh man, I loved the segment where Dom's just talking shit to Ray's wife and Ray's daughter, and then Ray's just had enough. It reminded me of a movie. Like he finally could not take this anymore.
I loved Ray's like promo after. He sounded so
fired up,
angry.
Yeah.
Which you don't often hear from Ray.
Yeah.
And I thought that segment was awesome. The pop when Dom gets punched by Ray. This crowd cheering for dad punching his kid in the face.
I really am praising WWE doing proper story. Little things in stories can go such a long way.
It's really hard to like sell a match father versus son where you're rooting for the father. You know, like
true.
And they've done it in a way like with everyone. There's no one watching that going like, oh, that's bad. He's beating his kid.
Yeah.
Which is a way it could go if handled wrong. I think
Dom is bigger than him too.
Yeah. I think they've done such a great job with this.
Yeah, the Dom stuff is hilarious. Like they know exactly what they're doing with that cheeky heel stuff, whether it was prison Dom, ex-con Dom, like they know exactly what they're doing. And the segment with Ray finally decking him and the crowd erupting proved that they knew exactly what they were doing.
There's probably going to be a lot of bells and whistles with this one, but the crowd are going to be into it every single moment. I could see this in a funny sort of way being like the Sami Johnny Knoxville last year, where it's not going to be a technically great match, but I think they'll plan it out in such a way.
Dom's been. When's the last time Dom wrestled?
He's been wrestling in tags and singles.
I feel like he hasn't like fully had like a big. I feel like he's been shooting in the gym. I feel like Dom's been like working on something. He's gonna shit the bed.
I know I've said this already, but I think it ends like Jericho and Michaels at 19,
right?
Where Dom's like crying after the loss, and Ray's like, "Can we move on?" And they hug, and then he kicks him.
I'm still with.
Puts a syringe in his dick.
Oh no! You said you didn't want me to talk
WrestleMania moment.
You didn't want me to. You said you didn't want me to talk about syringes on the show today. For anyone wondering what he's talking about, absolutely do not search this if you're squeamish or for the faint of heart. But there was
to be honest, just don't search it.
Just don't, to be honest. But there was a video from a wrestling event last week that is now notorious and people are going off on it. And it's definitely one of the most disgusting things I've seen in wrestling. But again, not for the faint of heart, but I believe it was XPW, something with a syringe, something with a dick.
Put the 2 and 2 together.
You've been fucking warned.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Terrible.
Yeah. So thanks for bringing that up in the Dom thing. I don't think we're seeing that in WrestleMania, but I can't wait for this too. It's going to be great.
And the main event, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship.
Yeah. Cody v. Roman, or as some people have been seeing the memes of Aquaman versus Highlander.
Yeah, it is. It very much is.
So Cody comes in from AEW and becomes the hottest thing here, wins the Rumble, gets this main event slot against Roman, who's been on this like ultimate bad guy run for the like what feels like the last like 2 years easily or something like that. Is it too easy to just go with Cody? Is it because it's an AEW guy that they want to put over the WWE? Like they got to make sure, and then eventually Cody gets a spot, or do you just do the right thing?
I think you just do the right thing.
Like it makes so much sense. I think
also, just listen to this preview. We've been saying about multiple people oh, that could then be an opponent for Cody, you know? And I think Roman has kind of, like, he's fought everyone. And Roman versus a heel doesn't really make sense. So at this point, doesn't really make sense to go kind of Gunther Roman. I think that's definitely a match I want to see down the line. But I think it freshens things up entirely with Cody as champion. Roman can take a bit of a break, come back refreshed and everything.
Absolutely.
And I think there are so many matches. Cody, Logan Paul, Cody, Seth again, Cody, Finn, Cody, Gunther. Cody, there's so many options now.
Yeah, Cody, Dom.
Cody, Sami, Cody, Kevin, like Cody, Dom.
Both have iconic Hall of Fame wrestling fathers. Dream match.
How long are the entrances combined for this match going to be?
Roman's going to get this crazy... What does he get?
I'm going 15 minutes for the two combined.
They're going to get the people
Well, Roman just walks slowly and has his
swings
giant
his
hologram
titles.
and swings his titles around.
Yeah, swanging.
Yeah.
Cody's is going to be long. I think it's going to have his like acoustic downstate thing and then go into the theme.
Okay.
Did you see his belt? He's got this white thing with gold that says Cody, and then inscribed on the inside is all the like indie
I heard him
promotions.
talk about it. I've not seen it yet.
Looked pretty cool. Also, someone made a Cody Rhodes Championship Winged Eagle belt that Cody took a picture with as well.
So that's something I heard, that Triple H has approved a new championship.
So it's clearly not the Cody fan-made one with
No.
the nightmare on it, but it can't be the other one that's floating around that's half blue, half red. That would be terrible.
Oh, is that one?
I hope that's not.
I
it.
hope not.
Let's just give Cody the Winged Eagle.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. You've had these titles like for a while, and we've seen this before when they've unified. You know, like Jericho would carry the two titles, and then when Triple H beat him, he had the unified one championship. We saw that with like when what was it, Brock, when Brock beat Bryan for the double titles, he just dropped it down to one. So I think kind of get the title on Cody and introduces a new fresh.
Like it's such a like I know certain wrestlers may or may not, or certain people may or may not have seen Rocky, but like I'm sure Cody and Roman Reigns have seen Rocky, and in Rocky like the bad guy wins in it. So maybe that's the first big chapter for the Cody story, but I do think it's the right time.
But in the WWE story, the bad guy's been winning for a long
long
time. We've
time.
had a lot of Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah,
you know,
it's time for a return of the Cody.
Return of Cody, exactly.
So I do like, I will be cheering for Cody, but I wouldn't be like, I'm hyped for this match. It's the biggest main event in a long time.
Yeah, I think they've done such a great job with this WrestleMania. I think they've really committed to some long-term stories. Like most of this card was kind of seeds planted at SummerSlam, right? That's when Bayley and Io Dakota came back. That's when, like around that time, like Clash at the Castle, you had the Gunther Sheamus thing going on. Ray Dom was Extreme Rules. No, that was Clash at the Castle as well. So September. So they've been long builds for these matches, and it's really paid off because I think people are really invested in Ray Dom. They're really invested in Cody Roman. They're really invested in Usos, Sami, KO.
There's a lot of big stories.
I think the big L is the way the women's matches have been built, which has been very poor. But on paper, those two championship matches are going to be great.
Yeah, both nights, whatever matches end up on either night, like all these matches sound pretty good, and it sounds like it's a stacked WrestleMania, and one I'm looking forward to in the longest time. So definitely going to be cranking green light and whatever else. My Way. Have you seen the My Way for Brock and Omos?
Is there one?
I'm
just throwing the scales around.
Yeah, so I'm super hyped. This is definitely one where we're like, oh wow, WrestleMania season feels like pretty special again. So wrestling this past year has just been fantastic.
Do you have a match you're most looking forward to?
Most looking forward to, it might be the tag match. It might be the main event just because the hype around it.
Atmosphere wise, I think that crowd's going to be molten. So I think we're going to see better like in-ring matches, but there's that big match like
Buzz.
Goosebump vibe you get, and I think this one is one of them.
And I'm happy that they do the 2 nights now because it allows people to not be that damn tired at the end, because you want to still be supporting who people, you want people to cheer and stuff. So Yeah, I'm just looking forward to like the whole show. Honestly, like a lot of the stuff on this card is, like I said, seeing Trish and Io tangled up there has my attention.
Yeah.
Seeing the three-way with the lads there, like all these different matches. Literally, I don't think I've been this excited for a WrestleMania in like a long time. There's always been like a few matches here and there, but this is like pretty much both shows. And that's the truth. So I do think Triple H, since taking over this past year, has done a fantastic job of getting people hyped for not only like the wrestling has stepped up, but the storylines and stuff for the most part.
And it's paying off. Like their ratings are better, their ticket sales are better. Like business is up with them, and it's the quality has improved.
Yeah, Roman's a draw.
He is.
Well, that's WrestleMania weekend. We will be going live. We're not going away or anything, but we will be going live Monday after sometime during the afternoon and giving thoughts and running down the whole show in the weekend. But there's a lot of other stuff.
There is
going on this weekend.
WrestleMania weekend. Where do you want to start with this? Maybe the ROH show.
Yeah, definitely. I would start with going to postwrestling.com because Pollock and Siino and I think a few others have been updating this whole list of all these other shows going on that I'll definitely cherry pick some things I have my eyes on for this weekend. But you said it, Ring of Honor, Super Card of Honor. Everyone, I'm going to be honest, I have not watched the new Ring of Honor
me neither.
yet. There's only so much time to, watch the wrestling we watch, to talk about and do shows on. And then we have shoot jobs. Yeah. So you got to cherry pick. I definitely, though, will be watching Ring of Honor this Friday because this card looks awesome. Super Card of Honor featuring the main event of Claudio going up against Eddie. Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli for the ROH World title. I think it's time that Eddie gets his somewhat his flowers and let him kind of reign control of this company, because the storyline is he left AEW. Yeah. I think give him the title. Claudio can go do stuff with the combat.
BCC.
Yeah, so just go that route. I think it could be pretty good. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. Yeah. It's a shame if this is the moment for Eddie. It's a shame that it's not New on York. An AEW or something. But yeah, I think this match will be good. We know there's like genuine like animosity between these two.
Right.
They've now translated it into the story. Yeah, I think Eddie winning makes sense and would be a feel-good moment. And yeah, so then you get these titles off of AEW TV. You don't have Claudio just walking around with some random title when he's with Mox and Yuta.
Yeah. We go to Wheeler Yuta going up against Katsuyori Shibata, which is crazy that Shibata's coming back to more AEW. Like he's been doing a little of the AEW, GCW I think as well. But to have him here against Yuta, who's been like calling him out, doing the sitting down and all that stuff, this should bang.
This should be great. I'm actually going to go with Shibata here.
Yeah,
for a similar kind of reason as the Eddie thing. I think get this title off of TV. So BCC can focus on their actual feud that's going on, and then Shibata could maybe drop this at Forbidden Door, perhaps.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, for sure. No, I would totally go with that. I'm down for this match.
Just always good seeing Shibata again. Still interesting. Hasn't wrestled for New Japan since coming back.
Maybe he'll wrestle at Forbidden Door.
But I think he will.
Yeah,
I think he'll defend this championship.
Shibata wins.
Yeah.
For the pure. Sorry, this is the pure title, right? Yeah.
Your favorite.
Yeah. Okay, I'm a little confused because I'm seeing here, this is Wikipedia telling me Athena's defending the ROH women's title against Yuka Sakazaki when I thought it was supposed to be Emi Sakura.
Oh.
So I think,
thought we saw the graphic for.
Yeah, I guess I guess that's changed or something's happened there, but I'm just going by Wikipedia here. But either of those matches sound pretty good, but I've been enjoying the little storyline with Sakura and Athena from just the little videos I've seen on Twitter.
I can't say I'm really clued up about it.
Just like she like attacked her and they've been beating each other up and stuff, and but I don't know if they're changing that.
I'm sure this will be a good match. Character wise, both of these I'm kind of cold on.
Sorry, Siino in the chat's correcting me that it is Yuka at the pay-per-view, but Emi is just the ROH show tomorrow.
Okay,
so there are both matches actually happening. Okay, cool. So you can check out either of those, but I think Athena's retaining.
Yes,
both times, whatever titles.
100%.
We got the ROH television title, Samoa Joe going up against Mark Briscoe. I think we give Mark some...
I think you've got to give this to Mark,
Yeah.
right? He's going to be vacating the tag titles on this show.
Yeah.
I'd go Mark Briscoe 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that this is on the show though, because this feels like a proper ROH match.
Yeah.
You know, Joe and Briscoe, like it feels right. Like Athena Yuka Sakazaki doesn't scream Ring of Honor to me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think Joe and Mark should kill each other out here.
Yeah.
And go at it for sure. This match has my attention and definitely why I'll be watching. We'll give some thoughts on Vikingo in a second from last week. But Vikingo is defending his AAA title against Commander one-on-one. And the very next day, I think they have a triple threat. Or later that night, they have a triple threat. Like, there's so many different iterations of Vikingo fighting all sorts of different dudes. But this is the singles match of Commander and Vikingo. And you must know we are big fans of both these guys. We love our lucha guys. We've seen Commander at Demand Lucha a bunch. He's facing Gringo at the next Demand Lucha in a few weeks here in Toronto. But now Demand Lucha also has now advertised Vikingo for an upcoming show in Toronto. So we love our lucha, and this is somewhat of a dream match for me here, just from the last year of becoming a big fan of Commander. So and Vikingo from the last few years. So this one is great. I see Vikingo taking the...
I think Vikingo. I can't see a title change happening not on a AAA show, and especially with talk of WWE having interest in Commander, I don't know if you'd want to risk swapping the titles over.
Yeah,
having another Dragon Lee situation.
Yeah.
And I think we've got to get that rematch between Vikingo and Kenny for this title at a AAA show. So
we can go to Mexico.
Yeah, so I'm going Vikingo.
Yeah, me too. But this match should absolutely bang. And then there's the triple tag match, Embassy versus AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Metalik. You think Blake Christian does it, wins the big one in honor of his boy Rick?
Well, Brian Cage is showing up at WrestleMania to face Bobby Lashley, isn't he?
Is that what he's saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's AR Fox, Metalik, and Blake Christian's time.
Right, yeah.
Come on, Trey.
Fair enough. There's also this crazy Reach for the Sky ladder match for the vacant tag titles, RIP Jay Briscoe. The Lucha Brothers taking on Top Flight, taking on Kingdom, taking on Aussie Open, and LIJ. So a lot of dudes in this match, but wow, this is going to be insane. You just know it. This whole show sounds pretty good.
I'm going to go with Kingdom
here. Kingdom? Okay.
I think looking at these, I'd say, wouldn't they have had the closest connection with Jay?
Most likely, yeah.
Which I think would be nice. They're a proper, feel like a proper ROH team.
Mm-hmm.
They can drop it. I know they're pushing Top Flight a lot in ROH, so I could see them dropping it to, say, them down the line. But yeah, I think maybe the Kingdom might give them a bit of a adrenaline shot as well.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm definitely okay with that. Definitely build them back up. They are definitely a good enough team to be there.
And they're a team that's clearly not being used in AEW. Whereas we're getting Lucha Brothers on AEW. Yeah. We're getting
all the other teams.
We're getting Top Flight. So yeah. I feel there maybe make the most sense.
For sure. I agree. But yeah, this show looks pretty good.
Looks like a really good show. That's Friday night.
Yeah.
I've got it off work. I'm probably staying in and watching this one.
I'm having it. We can watch together. We're having a few people over watching that and then going to Shrek night. You can come with us.
We'll see how I feel.
I'll let you know.
Saturday's a busy day.
I'll let everyone know how my Shrek night goes next week on the show. But Shrek night, can't wait. Yeah, there's a lot of other wrestling though.
Yeah. What else has your eye this year?
Okay, obviously, Speedball, Mike Bailey, he stole WrestleMania weekend last year with the crazy amount of matches and bangers he was putting on, and he's going for it again. Definitely would recommend the interview with him and John Away.
It's fantastic.
Go everyone check that out.
Bailey was super interesting on that show.
He's been awesome. We've seen him at a bunch of indie shows the past year for sure. He's been killing it, and he's got a match against Kota Ibushi, which that probably has the most attention this weekend out of a lot of things when it comes to in-ring stuff. These two are gonna kick the hell out of each other, so I definitely can't wait for that. I am bummed we're not getting Will Ospreay versus Speedball. I guess we'll have to see that eventually down the line somewhere else, but I am hoping that Ospreay heals up in time for Forbidden.
Yeah. So Speedball is facing Ibushi, then rushing over to face Tanahashi.
That's
in the same day. Yeah, his schedule's nuts. I'm very much looking forward to checking out his matches. The Ibushi match definitely has my interest because we haven't seen Ibushi since the G1 like 2 years ago.
I mean, we haven't seen him in a long time.
But also, it's not your classic. It's not a wrestling match here. It's a blood sports match,
right?
As well. So we'll see how that looks as well. That one's definitely got my attention.
Yeah, I mentioned Vikingo will be facing Commander and Taurus in a triple threat. I think that's actually Thursday by the time people are listening to this. But that's, again, that will be absolutely bonkers as well. I'm trying to think of what else. We mentioned Bloodsport, right? Coda and Speedball. Moxley versus Alex Coughlin. Okay, that could be pretty cool. Marina Shafir and Killer Kelly, which I am a huge fan of Killer Kelly, so I can't wait to see that. I'm trying to think of other matches that I've seen advertised this weekend. Oh, DDT goes Hollywood. There's also DDT versus GCW, but Takeshita is going to be involved in some matches. He's going up against this guy Yuki Uno, who I actually would say check out that match because it could be pretty cool. But also Nick Wayne and Andrew Everett are teaming in a match, and Andrew's someone I haven't seen in quite a while, but I used to be a pretty big fan of in Impact. So again, this whole weekend, there's so much going. I'm just trying to fly through.
There's a couple on the Impact New Japan Multiverse show that has my attention as well. That's where you've got Mike Bailey versus Tanahashi, also Moose versus Jeff Cobb. This X Division match looks pretty cool. Trey Miguel, Frankie Kazarian, Rich Swann, Kevin Knight, Clark Connors, and Rocky Romero. Sorry, It's the tag match has my attention.
Okay.
Chris Bay and Ace Austin versus the Mighty Don't Kneel versus Motor City Machine Guns versus Aussie Open.
Right, yeah.
There's a lot of very good people in that match. That should be pretty fun.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was bummed about that was advertised. That, holy crap, you have my attention when it does happen, is Time Machine, which is Machine Guns and Kushida taking on Aussie Open and Will Ospreay, which please one day needs to happen, but they have had to change that.
So yeah, looking forward to that show. That was a pretty good show last year. You've got the Gringo Locos.
Oh yeah, show, we'll definitely be watching that. Gringo Locos got World on Lucha, and I mean we had our interview with him. Would highly recommend checking that out. And you know he's got some fuckery of lucha happening because him and his boys know exactly that. They're all the lucha stars, isn't it? Gringo versus Psycho Clown. Yeah, Gringo. I'm getting super stoned and watching that show. We're getting blasted for that one, so I cannot wait for that.
Spring Break looks nuts. Speedball versus Vikingo. Joey Janela versus Ibushi. Motor City Machine Guns versus Nick Wayne and Jordan Oliver.
Okay.
And this looks fun. An open challenge. Maki Ito teaming with Nick Gage to take on Effie and Ali Catch.
Boosie. Yeah, that's probably the match.
That looks a pretty fun show, actually.
That would be the show. Whoa, that's a crazy show.
Yeah, that looks nuts.
Speedball and Vikingo as well.
Haven't announced the clusterfuck yet, though.
Oh, if I was going, though, that would be the hot ticket. Honestly, that one sounds nuts. GCW is also doing an emo night, like later in the night, which is
3 a.m.
Those sound pretty fun. Effie's Gay Brunch is another one of the fun events they do. Like, there's so much of this wrestling stuff going on. Excalibur and Christopher Daniels and Jimmy Jacobs and Paul London are going into the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Hey, what about the actual WWE Hall of Fame? Stacy Keibler.
Nice. Good stuff.
Aren't you proud of her?
I'm a big Stacy Keibler fan.
Shout out George Clooney. Who else is in it? Oh, the Great Muta, Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Is that where Dom kicks him in the nuts? I would hope not, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to ruin a Hall of Fame speech, but yeah. I guess no Batista.
Andy Kaufman.
Oh, Andy Kaufman, absolutely. I think Waller.
And just announced referee Tim White is being inducted.
Nice.
That's good. I'm glad he's getting the Warrior Award.
Okay.
I like that. I think there's definitely kind of, referees and ring announcers and things like that who deserve to be acknowledged and recognized as well.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. I love that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I think Batista just couldn't make it. I think there was scheduling issues. That's why there probably wasn't him involved. But
once it works out, maybe at 40 next year in Philly.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, there's a lot of wrestling going on this weekend. And I mean, hey, if you're someone who maybe just watches, like the big TV stuff, that's totally cool. But I do know the streaming stuff to check out a lot of the other indie stuff is really cheap this year.
All the collective for it's like $9 or something
It's
like
so
that.
worth it. It's
very much
actually worth it.
this
And
year.
like, hey, like support these feds, support the indie wrestlers, and because next time this year, some of these people will be on the other TV channels and stuff. That's the way it usually goes with these things. But super excited, not only for WrestleMania, like the actual WWE WrestleMania weekend, but a lot of the other stuff just sounds bonkers. So by Monday morning, by Monday after recording a show, we'll be so wrestled out that we'll just tune in for Monday Night Raw after
Absolutely.
Mania.
And then there's Tuesday night
NXT.
Then there's Wednesday night.
Yeah, there's
Dynamite.
no stand and deliver. I mean,
Yeah.
we're doing a lot here, guys. We got stand and deliver during the day. We're gonna go live on the post feed on the YouTube right after it ends, and then as soon as that ends, we're gonna quickly put that up and then run over to the bar and have our watch party for Saturday night and Sunday night. Then I said Monday after we'll go live sometime during the day. Follow the socials for that. But like we're gonna be doing a lot of watching wrestling and having a good time. So I'm super excited. Some thoughts on Dynamite last week, because everyone was talking about Vikingo and Kenny Omega in a 5-star classic, if you ask me. Just incredible.
Yeah, this was all of the quote-unquote controversy about, the
dream
who
match.
is this guy? I don't know this guy. They're advertising it as a dream match. All of that. I think people who had seen Vikingo before,
We knew.
And we're like, no, this is going to get your attention. I've watched this a couple of times now. I've shown a couple of people the match. It was fantastic. I think such a credit to Vikingo, because we've seen him do all these crazy spots. We've seen all the GIFs online and stuff. But your first time on national TV, your biggest audience to date, nailing every single one. We've seen in the past, like Sin Cara came to WWE and had such a name about him, and then came and, was botching and stuff. And it makes people go, all right away. There's so much pressure. He nailed everything. That leap backwards off the top into the Poisonrana.
I screamed. I screamed at the top of my lungs at that spot. We were sitting next to each other, and I scared. You were like, "Yo," but I just rewatched it today, this morning before recording. I was like, I might as well throw it on again. And I'm screaming again. I already watched it, but I'm like, how are you doing this?
Inverted flipping Dragon Rana, all of his spots.
Dude,
look
Spider-Man
great. And that's Kenny, obviously as well. Kenny's fantastic and was great base for him. And when he's then coming back, drilling him with these V triggers and stuff. It was an awesome match.
Yeah, one of the best Dynamite matches for sure. One of the best, this was free, man. This wasn't even on a Triple Mania or a pay-per-view or anything. This was, free. So I hope we see more of this. I mean, the second we started watching this guy, I would recommend for people not too familiar, his match with Rey Fenix from last year from Triple Mania, blew my socks off. So would say, look up some of his past stuff, but Triple A is going to want to try to keep this guy, protect this guy. He's becoming their guy. So just don't know if you would see him show up in other places, because there is people saying, hey, Commander might be showing up somewhere else and stuff. So
there, when I was at work, one of the cooks who likes wrestling came in on his day off and was just having some drinks, and I was telling him, this guy is wrestling tonight, watch this, and just showed him a highlight reel of Vikingo
clips.
And there's this older guy sat at the bar, and I've got the network on one channel, and you often see there's either people who, there's kind of three types of people. There's people who clearly watch wrestling and they're kind of watching what's going on. There's the people just smirking at it, that fake shit, that kind of thing. And there's the people, I used to like this back in the day with Stone Cold and The Undertaker. You get all those people. Anyway, this guy's there, not really paying much attention to the network, and sees what I'm showing this Vikingo clips, and he just goes, that's incredible. How? And suddenly was the first time he's ever seen any kind of wrestling like that. It's that's amazing. And you're doing that on TV? It blew his mind.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there were so many people watching that match last week who also had their mind blown.
Yeah. It reminds me, I've definitely told the story, but when I worked at TSN, it was after the day or so after Bailey versus Sasha from TakeOver, the famous match everyone loves. I'm watching it for a second time, at work, and I have it on all the screens. And a janitor came into the room, and he started cleaning the room as the match was starting. And he stood at the door and watched the whole match. And then at the end of it, he was like, what did I just watch? That was amazing.
Yeah.
What was that? Like, those are women wrestling. That
Yeah.
was better than like, that was better than when I used to watch like Triple H and things back in the day. He's like, holy crap. Like, I just remember he was so shocked, like stood
That's
there.
amazing.
What was that? But yeah, back to Vikingo. I hope we see more of him. We hope we get that rematch with Kenny. You know, Kenny is my favorite, and he was the perfect base for this. He let this guy fly all over the place.
So giving to him as well.
Made him look like a
and
star.
The respect he gave him after the match and stuff. Just seeing Kenny in singles matches as well. They said it was over 500 days since his last singles match on TV.
So is Don Callis secretly the biggest baby face in wrestling because he's just giving us singles Kenny, what we all wanted for a long time now. So really, like, it's kind of backwards. But that storyline's a little weird.
So yeah, at the end we can go into some other talk. At the end, there's a beatdown from the BCC. The Bucks have been taken out earlier in the night. We assume they lead you to assume it's the BCC that took out the Bucks. Hangman comes out, clears the ring, and
we thought it was Goldberg.
And then Callis kind of does a back bump,
a phantom bump,
and pretends he's been struck by Kenny. So Kenny's like, "Yo, what the fuck, Hangman?"
Yeah.
So you think this is Callis trying to just don't have any friends.
Yeah.
You're on your own.
Just be on your own. Don't
You
worry
just got
about
out the trios division. No, don't go back to that ex.
Yeah,
Don't go
none
back
of
to
that.
your ex.
None of that. Just be on your own.
You're living life. You need to learn the single life, Kenny.
Yeah, just be a dog again.
Yeah. So maybe I think you're right. I think it is Callis who maybe orchestrated the Bucks being taken out because he's trying to get Kenny.
He made a reference in the show. I do love Don Callis. I love Don Callis. You love to hate him, and that's his job. So I think he's really good at that. Throughout back to the Cyrus days, I think he's good at that. But he said like, "Oh, don't worry, they'll heal up in like 5 months. Don't worry, they'll be back."
They're good kids.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Just dismissing them, right? It is interesting because it's like, okay, well, if the story now is it Matt Jackson who's hurt? One of them is hurt now.
Matt's had like a partial bicep tear.
And people are reporting that, he's not going to be getting surgery, but still he's going to be out for a while.
Yeah, so I think Meltzer said it's like 2 to 6 months.
Yikes.
So which would take him out of, it could potentially take him out of Forbidden Door. Yeah.
Damn, that's unfortunate. So like, where do we go with this storyline of like Kenny? Look, Kota Ibushi is stateside come Wednesday. I think he's showing up to help Kenny now that the Bucks aren't there. And Kota clears thing, and Don goes, "Oh, also I got someone who can help us, Takeshita. There's your new forming of a team." And Don didn't necessarily want Kenny to be alone. He just wanted him to be with like his new guy or something.
But I'd assume you'd put Hangman in that as well.
Oh, right, true, yeah.
Yeah, we're getting another Kenny singles match tonight with Jeff Cobb defending. I forgot he was US champion. New Japan.
Yeah, I mean, by the time you're listening to this, maybe Kota already showed up.
Who knows? But yeah, I think they're doing a pretty good job with the it's just so, yes, we finally get him in that division again. BCC as heels, I'm still not sure about.
Yeah.
Like, I know the matches are going to be good once they pull the trigger on these combinations, but I don't really feel that they're... Yeah, I just don't buy them as a heel unit.
Yeah, me too.
I feel Yuta and Claudio almost feel like, private school kids who've teamed up with the rough guy from the public school, and just I don't buy them as badasses.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I buy Mox, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's not much difference between like heel Mox and babyface Mox, and just doing things like low blows or whatever. It's like, it kind of doesn't fit your character right now, but I hope it comes around.
I hope it leads to something, and then we can get away from that and go on. I do think Mox should like go off for a bit and chill and then come back. But I mean, if there's some good stories that they have to tell, then for sure go for it. But
what else had your attention last week?
I mean, that match just blew my mind, and I've watched it back like a few times already now. So that definitely had it. I can't even remember now what else happened.
That's the only thing I really remember is the main story, the Elite and BCC.
Yeah, I mean, we have FTR coming back for the titles. They're saying that if they lose, they're going back to WWE.
Playing with all the Twitter rumors and that. Which kind of indicates to me I think they're staying.
Yeah.
you got to get these titles off the Guns.
Yeah.
Just zero reaction.
I'm liking the stuff with I guess we're going towards the 4 pillars Double or Nothing match.
It looks like it, yeah.
Right? Like that seems like that would be the actual way they go.
I think that makes sense. I think you can do different combinations with the 4 before then, and then it gives MJF a bit of a longer reign before you go to your big guys, your big guns, your Hangmans, your Kennys, all that. So right. I don't mind this as a pay-per-view match.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what kind of the card eventually kind of shapes up, because I feel like there could be some good stuff with, especially the way the Kenny stuff is going. I do hope it's a big singles match, just because so far this guy's easily Wrestler of the Year.
I think it will be an Anarchy in the Arena or something for that. I think you'll get all those guys tied up in that.
Something else I want to talk about. Seems like everyone always wants to talk about. We just can't keep his name out our mouths. CM Punk.
Sigh.
CM Punk staying relevant as ever by just reminding us that, hey, wrestling's also about the dumb shit. Just loves to tweet and delete. Or sorry, Instagram and delete. Story post and delete. He's so modern.
So this started with on the Observer message board where Dave Meltzer said, do you know why they didn't advertise Punk versus Moxley longer and why it had a short build? Because Punk agreed to it. Then AEW got a legal letter saying he wasn't down with it and wasn't doing it, and they didn't know if he'd come until Tony put his foot down. There are a lot of nice things I can say about him, and you can absolutely argue his position on Moxley was correct, but you can't argue he willingly did what he was asked in the situation. To which Punk grammed and deleted. Doesn't have the same ring, does it?
It feels like he did a gram and deleted it.
Yeah.
More like it.
Sigh. I wasn't cleared to come back to wrestle yet. Then plan was to wrestle at the pay-per-view. I sat and listened to Moxley's Rocky 3 idea. I explained how I'd never seen a Rocky movie and thought the idea sucked. But if the boss wanted to do it, whatever. He said he wouldn't lose to me. I'd never experienced someone refusing to lose to me. I just laughed. I asked Tony if this was what he wanted. He said yes. He's the boss, so I said okay, but I need to be cleared first. They kept saying it could be a squash, so I didn't need to be cleared. I scoffed at that. My health is more important. Dave Meltzer is a liar. Jericho is a liar and a stooge. There were plans, but plans always change, but I'll never put a company above my health. Ever again.
End Graham's story.
Yeah.
I mean, man, like I'm joking, but clearly, Mr. Straight Edge. Maybe he just all this time needs to smoke a joint.
He needs to take meth or something. Yeah.
You just smoke a joint.
Yeah.
Maybe if you smoked a joint, like, you would have main evented WrestleMania or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, wow. I saw someone tweet that earlier today. Shout out Rated R. But it's like, wow, this guy just sounds like a dick, dude. I get it. There's definitely people out there who love this stuff about wrestling, and the bullshit of wrestling is definitely a part of wrestling and the allure to like why we get sucked into it and stuff. But like just to go off. Look, if it is something that is Meltzer's fault for saying things on a message board, it just sounds so schoolboy
I
shit.
listened to Meltzer on Post, and he's basically saying, yeah, things I say on the Observer radio and things I write in the Observer, I'm putting out there.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've never really seen the message board that way. And it's like, come on, Dave. Like, in 2023, how quickly, like, this Instagram story was up for minutes, and
before
it's everywhere.
It got taken down.
Like it was careless, I think, on Dave's part, if he didn't want to report it. And why hasn't he reported it? If this is he then went on to say, like, oh, I kind of wish I didn't say that on the Observer. It's like, well, so that's your job.
Yeah.
Like, why? You shouldn't, as a journalist, be worried about upsetting people if what you're saying is factual.
Yeah.
And I think Punk kind of like that press conference. There's things in there which he's very fair to be pissed about, but it's the way he goes about it, and then the way he, like, this whole thing is about an issue with, like, Moxley and Meltzer. And then he's like, yeah, and fuck Jericho, essentially. And, like, that's where he loses people, because he then starts bringing in, Colt Cabana's mum and stuff like that. And it's like, whoa, where are we going here?
Yeah.
And similar to that press conference, like, what I get from this is similar to that press conference where he just, without facts, out and out blames Kenny and the Bucks for leaking stuff to Meltzer. Here he's doing the same with Jericho, you know?
He's just saying, like,
Jericho puts it out there. Like, you know he's close with Meltzer. Like,
Right.
that's what I'm getting from that is, yeah, Jericho's spreading shit about me again.
yeah, it's totally bizarre that, like, it seems this guy's got beef with fucking everyone. And it's like, you know, I think famous singer, songwriter, Taylor Swift just recently put it, "Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me."
Yeah.
That's clearly it. Like, I listened to Mox on Renee, the sessions, and Renee is fantastic.
Yeah.
And a podcast with her and her husband, Moxley, who they're just so good together. Couple
It's so
goals.
different, but it works.
Exactly. Yeah. I love it so much. And I thought that, like, just under an hour conversation, he put it best and just reminds me he's a real one. He's just like, yo, what's all this dumb shit? Like, can we not talk about this? Can we talk about how Kenny and Vikingo had a great match? Can we talk about this? Like, he's just like, this is so stupid. And I just find it so weird that, like, this is something that's drama in wrestling. I find it really stupid. I really don't like it.
Yeah, and also, like, you would have thought Punk went through a whole court case
About
with
talking
shit about, like, the doctor and stuff that was potentially libelous. Here he's saying basically they wanted me to work not cleared, injured, and that's a big story in itself. Where is that true? If it is, that's a big problem. And then when you think we're looking at the likes of Shibata and Paige, Saraya being booked, and when they haven't been cleared by other companies, and you go, is this an issue in AEW? So that's a big thing he's put out there as well.
So Punk's like, oh, I was still hurt and I shouldn't have been forced to.
I knew I'd be cleared for the pay-per-view, but not. I don't know. It was weird.
It's just kind of weird. And also, like, I saw Cody Rhodes in that match with a red gob all over his fucking body. He wrestled, not, you know, poking fun, but, like, it's just weird.
I think something I haven't really been seen being talked about is, so Punk is talking about the first match, the Dynamite match, which was a squash. It was Punk
Mox crushes him.
Injured himself and lost.
Yeah.
And got hit by the DDT and stuff. I feel like when that happened, it was, okay, this is to cement Moxley's title reign. He's been interim.
Yeah.
It's to be, actually, you've carried this company for the last few months when Punk's been injured.
Yeah.
Like, on a last-minute notice, you're main eventing with Tanahashi and killing it and stuff. I felt that was a way of going, like, okay, let's solidify this title win. Do something a bit different going into the pay-per-view, and Punk can get his win back. Remember, Mox, before Punk was there, Mox was the number one guy, really.
Yeah.
Like him and Jericho. So I think it was totally fair for him to want to.
For sure.
Like, yeah, you can win it in your hometown on the big stage.
Yeah.
Let me
solidify
this as a two-time champ.
Did it not make the story more interesting? It made the story go, whoa.
It like, definitely people were, and still criticize it because they were mad about, can we just announce the match for the pay-per-view? We were saying it as well, but I appreciated it was something different.
Yeah.
And
then it led to the epic, now forgotten Ace Steel promo. Like, that never happened.
It was good TV for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I can understand why Punk would go, sorry, we're doing this match like last minute on TV and I'm losing. Like, there's certainly reasons to question it and scoff at it, as he puts, but just like we were talking last week about, I feel he's coming back. I feel bridges have been mended and fixed and stuff. And then this happens.
Or it's a work. Maybe. I mean, it's just so you're calling out everyone and talking shit to everyone. Like, do you have a problem with everyone
all the time?
Like, you must be fucking great at parties. Like, you must be such a fucking nice person.
He's a grown man now. Like, I got it. Like, I understood it 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, now you're an adult. You know,
it's just so silly. Yeah.
And Mox, shit happened. It was sad to see what he was saying though. Like, I've never seen so much fucking bullshit in the locker room.
Yeah.
And you hear that interview where he's going off on WWE.
Yeah.
And he's saying AEW's like, there's things that need to be fixed there for sure.
Yeah, Mox saying like there's a lot of bullshit. He's definitely referring to a lot of the Punk stuff in the last months and this year. But like, yeah, that was an interesting listen and definitely made me like, again, Punk you could always be right in certain things, but the way you're saying things and the way you're going about things can make you wrong regardless in situations, because you're just coming across as such an asshole.
There's something as well with Tony Khan where, and you see this in other like workplaces, is the boss who's trying to be everyone's friend.
Yeah.
And then when something like this happens, where you are friends with some of the people, it's maybe not putting a firm enough foot down or stuff like that. And it seems like you look in the press conferences where Punk's going off and Tony's right beside him. It seems like Punk's leading Tony rather than the other way around.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially in that presser.
Yeah, so, and you need someone. Like, I can't see someone, for all his criticisms, I can't see someone doing this to Vince McMahon.
No.
Like, Vince's like, no, I'm the boss.
Yeah.
Undertaker, you're losing to Brock today. The streak's over.
Right.
All right, you're the boss. Triple H, I think, would have that firmer hand on things. But a lot of shit's gone down last year.
Yeah, look, Punk is a draw for AEW. AEW can be such a bigger entity with Punk. There's
100%.
no denying that at all. But like, do they necessarily need all that baggage that comes with it? You know, like it's definitely a catch-22, because like I want this company. I love wrestling, and like I said, the past few years of wrestling as a fan has been awesome, especially AEW. They do a lot of not so good things, but they do so much good stuff and so much great entertainment for us, the fans. And I want to see them get bigger and succeed and do lots of stuff. And when they brought in Punk and that started off, that was such good business for them and such way more eyes on that product. But then now as a fan, he's almost like made me turn on him, because I'm like, why do I even bother? I've watched your matches.
Is this time is, I think he sounds like he wants to wrestle again. When he left WWE the first time, he very much divorced himself from all wrestling. Like, he'd shoot down questions about it, and I'm never wrestling again, all that. The fact he's showing up to like Battle in the Valley, the fact he's been tweeting about wanting to come back and that kind of thing. I feel like he does want to wrestle, but there's all this bullshit he's got to get through. Which with him, it's going to be in anywhere he's going to try and
anywhere
work.
he goes, he's going to have issues with something. That's just the way he is. It's the way this guy is like wired, I guess. Like I just don't think it's worth it. I don't need to see this guy mess up buckshot lariats anymore. I'm definitely like, he's not a draw for me, but I totally see it and would love for him to come back and work things out.
I really liked his run. I thought he had some fantastic
I thought he had
matches.
some good stuff, but definitely not like the last few matches. They were just okay, but like I do think he should come back and he could just, everything should work. Why can't we all be friends? Let everyone just get along and make money and do business is the end of the day. But he keeps posting things like that. It's like, is this the way you are? You're in character all the time now because you're just coming across that way. You're going to try to bring him in as a heel. It's like when they tried to turn Austin heel. It's like, you're still CM Punk. So you're getting cheered. But again, does AEW need CM Punk? No, but like if they were to be together, it could be like a proper, like, it works. We've seen it. When all the AEW is so weird. It's like, since Punk coming in, when was the only time when like they were firing on every cylinder going? Ever since then, it's not hit. It's like someone's out, this person's out, Cole is out, Undisputed Era come in, but they're injured and it didn't work out. Then we bring in Punk and it's like, okay, well now this happened. It's like everything. There's always a hitch somewhere that the full team cannot be operating at the same time. But when that does happen, hopefully, like that's when something clicks a lot bigger.
Yeah, I hope it gets sorted out. It definitely seems further away than it was.
Yeah. Still love it, and they're killing it. Don't get me wrong. And we're excited because they're coming in June for Toronto, our back door. We're going to be having a blast going to all those shows and stuff. But like, it's just weird. I love the silliness and bullshit of wrestling. It's such a part of it, right? But like calling people out on tweet and delete things, like that's what like 16-year-old girls do. Like, what are you doing? Like, you know what you're I think he knows what he's doing.
And once it's out, as we said, you know it's going to be screenshotted. Fucking own it. Just leave it up.
Yeah. Coward.
Yeah.
Smoke a joint. Pepsi sucks.
You did mention Mox on the sessions as well, which I listened to as well. I thought it was a pretty fun interview. I like how you're going in and you're like, all right, we're going to get the dirt. And then he's like, I really like Marina Shafir. I love her footwork.
Yeah.
Really good.
What a gem Mox sounds. Like, how could you have an issue with this guy?
Yeah.
Honestly.
But
I could have an issue with Hangman.
But I thought there was some more like AEW warning signs from this as well. Him saying about how he was working without a contract for ages. And no matter how much you trust someone,
Yeah.
don't do that. Like we've seen it. We've seen it happen in the past.
Yeah.
We've seen, Jarrett holding up WWF for money. We've seen
Yeah, you're referring to him saying that
Medusa trashing the title.
he said he could have like walked into SummerSlam
that day.
Yeah.
Because he was working under contract.
He did not say on the show if there was like a feeler out to him or someone knew about this kind of stuff, but he did say like he could have if he wanted to.
I definitely got from this interview, and he's not as explicit as Punk. Like he I don't even said CM Punk's name. I don't think
he says what's his dick.
Yeah. But like I found it a bit damning on Tony as well.
Yeah.
Just like
you let that guy do that.
Never seen this much bullshit, and like this happens and this
rightfully
happens.
so though. Like rightfully so. I would imagine.
We were at that Buffalo show.
Yeah.
Right after Brawl Out, where Mox cut the promo, and you could tell he was pissed.
Yeah.
So pissed with this bullshit. You go back to those, like we were doing with those Hangman promos, where we go, oh, that was a bit weird. And then when everything's coming out, you go back to the fragile body, fragile ego lines from Mox, which now, after hearing all this, has a bit more weight to it.
Yeah.
Like the fragile ego comments, you're talking about your top baby face in the company here.
Yeah.
You're not talking about, a Mox saying, MJF, you've got a fragile ego. Makes sense storyline wise, but the main hero of the story, and you're going fragile body, fragile ego. You could, looking back, you could see the animosity there.
Yeah, it definitely checks out. It would be interesting to look back at some of the stuff that was happening there. Clearly, Mox was pissed at just like how, again, the bullshit took the center stage and took away from like everything else that weekend, and still going forward months and months later.
And I wonder if tensions backstage and stuff would have added to him going, no, I'm going to win the first one.
Yeah.
If Punk was getting along perfectly fine with everyone, he might have been, I'll drop it to you at the pay-per-view.
Right. Yeah. That's true. It could have been it. And then he really doubles down on not seeing Rocky.
Yeah.
Which got heel heat from some people, but that's okay. We all have movies we haven't seen, but that one, like, it's a pretty, it's like not wrestling, but like
I haven't seen it.
It's like it's still pretty. You should watch it. It's pretty good.
One day.
The third one though, not my favorite, but
no,
that's
maybe. So does he lose in a squash match and then wins?
Yeah. What's that Clubber? What's in the third one? Clubber Lang. I'm trying to think of when is the other guy. Anyways, but yeah. Shout out Moxley. He did sound like a real one listening to him.
I always enjoy his interviews.
And he goes off on like protecting the Bucks and Kenny, like, yo, like, screw people who hate on these guys.
Cornet, basically.
Yeah. Well, there's the drama of the Punk Mox stuff going on. AEW though still killing it. I'm sure they'll be having some stuff going forward for Double or Nothing. I'm sure it'll be great lead-in weeks to that, and then Forbidden Door in a few months down in our neighborhood. We're so excited about that. WrestleMania this weekend though, we are hyped for lots and lots of wrestling. Go check out all the shows we have coming out, including, Monday we'll be going live after everything kind of settles. So hang out with us on this feed. I think Shot in the Dark's going to be a little hiatus because he's going to Lego World. Mario World. Siino's going to Mario World.
Jealous.
Yeah, hella jealous. Great dad. So Poisonrana.ca for the links for all our podcasts and links to our patreon.com/Poisonrana for all the shows that we do up there. We just did WrestleMania 11 and 19, 2 different reviews there, plus access to all the different movie reviews and pay-per-view reviews that we put out. And follow our socials for the next few days this weekend because we'll be posting some fun stuff. We'll post some Instagram stories and then take them down minutes later.
Yes.
Like the cowards we are. No, we'll leave them up because we're men.
I'm going to post the drinks menu.
Oh, should we discuss the drinks menu?
We can do, yeah.
Yeah, okay, look, we're throwing a party, and we've done these things a few times. When we were upNXT, I mean, we still are, but we did a takeover tailgate in Toronto, and you came up with a list. We had Some great stuff. The Royal Rumble shot is our most popular thing because it's the bartender's just a random entry, so you don't know what shot you're getting. We brought that
And it's
back.
a little cheaper as well than the other shots.
Exactly.
So it's like, if you want to pay a little less,
Yeah.
you can just, tell us if you have allergies.
Yeah.
I don't want any deaths
Yeah.
at my watch party.
So far, those have been like hits at the different events that we've done, but you've come up with a whole new menu here.
Yeah, so we're bringing back the Poisonrana,
Ooh.
which is tequila, one of our favorites. Tequila with raspberry sourpuss and melon liqueur, topped up with ginger ale. Pretty good. Goes down quite nicely.
Very fire.
We've got the Bloodline Spritz, which is a reworked red rum, but we thought this is a WWE event.
We the red rum.
The Bloodline Spritz, which is spiced rum and fireball with cranberry and soda. It tastes like Christmas.
It was so good. It was the number one. It sold out at the last event. A lot of our drinks sell out eventually, but it was the first one to sell out.
We've got the American Nightmare, which is bourbon with ginger beer and lime juice. So like a bourbon mule.
Nice.
So for Cody there.
Finish the story. Finish your drink.
Exactly. We've got some shooters like the Samoan Spike, which is half Malibu and half raspberry sourpuss dropped in Coors Light and orange juice.
And then you shoot it.
And you just chug it back.
Samoan Spike.
Samoan Spike.
Ooh, wow.
The Banger Bomb also has a controversial other name that people would be upset.
Irish lads know.
Yep. It's Irish whiskey with Irish cream dropped in Guinness, and then you chug it back. This is like, I love this shot because you got to drink it right away, otherwise it curdles and goes nasty, but kind of tastes like a milkshake.
Yeah, it's good.
It's nice.
Everyone loves those bombs.
And then the KOD, the Kiss of Death, which is half Chambord and half Frangelico. So it kind of tastes like a PB&J.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Nice.
The Royal Rumble shot you've mentioned. But if you're not a drinker, which I'm sure there'll be non-drinkers showing up as well, we love you as well, and we want you to get involved. So this is the only non-WWE, but it was WWE once. The Pepsi Plunge. Boo. Which is cola, milk, and grenadine served over ice with a cherry. This kind of tastes like a ice cream float, like a Coca-Cola float.
Okay.
Sounds weird.
Yeah.
I tried it, and then you're like, oh no, actually, this is pretty good.
This is like Laverne and Shirley Pepsi and milk thing. They did it back on the show years ago.
It's nice. Yeah. I really like a vodka paralyzer, which is vodka, Kahlua, milk, and Coke, which is good. So the Pepsi Plunge.
But I mean the real virgin drink.
Then the main event, the virginest of virgin drinks, is the Brooks Jensen. I imagine there's going to be people showing up going, Who is that photo at the end there? Who is that? And other people going, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Surin in the chat says, that's good.
Yeah.
he's loving that run right now with the skull emoji, dead face.
And that's pineapple juice, ginger beer, and lime juice in a mule mug. So like a pineapple virgin mule.
Yeah.
Which goes together quite nicely.
When you order one, we play Freebird.
Yes. You also, for every drink you order from that menu, you get a free raffle ticket for a chance to win, replica titles, tickets to Dynamite, a whole lot of a plaque, like Bloodline t-shirts. We got a whole lot there.
We got some great stuff. You have a Cody weight belt. We have actual replica world title belts, different ones for each night, and we got like things to give away. You've come up with like different trivia games, like name that tune kind of thing, and all sorts of fun stuff that is just going to be like entertainment throughout the night of the show as well. So we've come up with this like whole event thing. We're pretty much event planners since like a year ago. We're just coming up with wrestling parties.
Yeah.
And so far it's been,
and we love it.
And so far they keep getting bigger and better. So we're super excited. So again, if you're not able to make this one, plan ahead for the forbidden pour.
The forbidden pour.
Yeah. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening and hanging out with us here today, especially everyone in the YouTube chat. We will be back Monday sometime in the afternoon after the WrestleMania storm winds down, and then Tuesday night back for Up Next. But yeah, we will be live after Stand and Deliver, of course, on the post feed. So look for that. But it's going to be a busy WrestleMania weekend. So give me the green light. Get your passport. You got a passport? Mr. International, I got a passport. Get it all ready. Get hyped. At Poisonrana Pod, Twitter, Instagram, and all that jazz. I myself, Braden Herrington, Twitter, Instagram, at the Brady.
And I am at Davie Portman.
Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And happy WrestleMania.
Ahoy!